Hey guys, welcome back to another video, another art doll video. So this is another one of my medieval cats. This is the first one that I made and I'm patting it. So this is the one that I sort of experimented with. I did the sculpture and then I sort of sat on it for a few months. I did a little shout out post to see if people were interested as well. And then I just, did the plunge and did three whole cats. Anyway, so this one is Sir Claude, as in Claude. He's really cute. He's a bit of a lazy folk, and he's a bit lopsided and just very lazy. He also comes with this pillow, which is like a really nice velvet. So I made this pillow as well. It's got little velvet button on it and all of the gold little embellishments on there, so it's actually a really nice pillow, but I hate the feel of velvet, so I don't know why I chose velvet. I hate it. Anyway, a little look at the dolly. So he's a nice chunky boy. It's got a ball and socket armature inside, so he is posable as much as this chunky boy can be posable. Polymer clay head, glass eyes, some little whiskers. These ones have resin feet actually, so they're nice and sturdy, but yeah, there's little bit of posability in this guy. Mainly laziness. But anyway, so I think this one has been snapped up. I'm not 100% certain because they haven't paid the deposit, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But I'll let you guys know if this guy comes back up or not. I'm not quite certain. Usually when I have people that buy and don't pay deposit, they don't return. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, comes with this nice little pillow, and yeah, so if you want to see how I made him, I did a combination of different little airbrushing techniques on this little bit here to blend in with the back of the fur. But yeah, if you want to know how I made him, then keep watching. Okay guys, so for some reason I don't have much of the sculpting process of this one, so Sir Claude, for some reason. I think what I did was I sculpted it as an experiment off camera because I wasn't sure if I was going to go with it or not. But I do have this little footage of firstly starting the sculpting and a little bit of a footage that I had on my TikTok of the final sculpt. So I'll add that at the end of this little piece. So I'm basically starting off by covering an aluminium foil core that I've sort of roughly shaped into a rough head of a cat. Because these are medieval cats, I'm going to do them a little bit weird, obviously. So I don't have a perfect shape for the head, and I'm not going to have a perfect shape for the actual sculpt anyway. So I'm using Sculpey Original for this one. It's a softer clay as opposed to using Super Sculpey, which is a little bit harder. I am going to be using a little bit of Super Sculpey for the nose though, so it's a little beige colour and it works really well for little wet noses. Alright, so this is the footage of the final Sir Claude sculpt before I start adding the armature and everything. So this doll is going to be a little doll, so I'm using all three of them a little actually. So I'm all using the same sized armature. So this is the 1/8 scale, small sized armature. So I'm just popping all the sockets together. I used resin feet that I had in stock here. So I've cast these feet in resin, so they're a little bit more durable. So I usually, when I do some casting, I have leftover resin and I cast some more parts like feet, just small bits with that leftover resin. So these were a couple of little kitty cat paws that I had in stock. So I've added the armature to the clay piece and the resin piece using some epoxy sculpt. Leave that to dry overnight, so about 24 hours for it to fully cure, and it will become rock solid. And then pop the armature together. So I'm using a plus little socket in between the leg joints just to obviously have a space for the legs. And you need this little tool to pop these sockets on and off. So for this particular doll, I'm not going with any sort of reference images because they're medieval cats and medieval cats don't have any. They're all lopsided, they're not to scale. So I'm just sort of making the size armature up here. So I wanted this a little pudgy cat. Oh, look how cute the little bodies. So the next step is wrapping the pipe cleaners around the body, so that acts as a catch for the polyfill that I'm going to be using to needle felt the muscle tone. And it doesn't restrict the posability in any way. It's a really thin piece of wire that I'm wrapping around, but it has like little hairs on the pipe cleaners that actually catch on the polyfill and make it a little bit easier to needle felt. Alright, so moving on to the needle felting, the actual needle felting. So I'm using polyfill, which is like a pillow stuffing to needle felt the body as opposed to alpaca fiber. Alpaca fiber is really expensive, and because I'm covering this with faux fur anyway, I don't want to use an expensive fiber for no reason. So I did a couple of experiments and found that the polyfill works really great for needle felting. It's what I used for the stuffing anyway, and it works for needle felting, so it's perfect little happy medium. So I just basically wrap the armature in the inner layer of the polyfill to begin with, and then start building up on that muscle tone to create the legs, the body, the belly, all that stuff. And this little one's giving like little kitten vibes with the little tail that sticks up, little stubby body, so very cute. Okay, so once I'm happy with the body, I can start sewing up the faux fur. So I've chosen this faux fur. I had a little design in my head on what I wanted the body to look like. So I've chosen this faux fur with a white undertone and a sort of auburn, I'd say, with black tips on the end of it. I wanted the legs and the face to be white and the rest of it to be kind of like a little tawny colour, auburn tawny colour. So I went for this one. I still wanted it to be fluffy too. So I picked this faux fur. I had just enough as well, and I sort of airbrushed a little bit to blend into the rest of the fur. So what I'm doing is basically wrapping a piece around the torso and cutting off all the excess. So I'm going to sew that up first. I normally start with the torso piece and then work my way to the extremities. And for this one, because it has no neck, I didn't need to do a neck piece. And I'm using a ladder stitch to sew this body up. This fur is quite thick, so it is a little difficult to work with. It's thick furs and long furs are quite difficult. The pile sometimes gets caught in the thread, so that seems to be a little difficult to avoid knots when it's quite long. So I like to sort of flatten out the pile as I'm going along. It helps a little bit, but it just gets caught up for some reason. It's crazy. The knots just drive me nuts. So I use a good quality thread to sew up this ladder stitch because you need a good tension on it to keep the seam closed. So I use a Guillomin thread to sew all my pieces up, or I use an upholstery thread. Alright, so moving on to the legs. So again, I'm just going to go and pin all the leg pieces on and sew it in one go. So again, just wrapping it around the polyfill and then cutting the excess off, pinning it together, and then using that ladder stitch to sew up all of the pieces. I do have a little bit of a seam allowance up where the shoulder area is, just so I have enough of the fabric to sew it around. Once it's all sewn up, I also sew the little tail piece up. I can start gluing everything together. So I'm using a tacky fabric glue to glue the fabric to the resin polymer clay outer one. And it's basically a really thick clear glue that about takes 24 hours to dry, nice and solid. And it works really well for sticking fabrics, really. And once that's done, I apply some faux fur to the face, and normally I paint the eyes in before I add the fur. It's just a little bit neater, but I wasn't sure which way I was going with this doll, so I left it to, I finished sort of half the colour for this one before I painted it in. So I went for a little bit of brown to paint around the eyes, a little bit of pink in the middle, and brown for the mouth as well, because we want to enhance that weird mouth. And I'm also just using water-based acrylic paints for this one, so nothing special. I use the brand Chromacryl. I really like the pigment and just the way the paint is. It's really nice and it's a good consistency. Now for the airbrushing, I'm doing a combination of a couple of different colours. So I use some paint by the brand Jacquard. It is a fabric paint that you sort of water down 20% to get that airbrush consistency. So I'm starting off with that lighter colour first. So it's kind of that auburn colour to blend in with the rest of the body. You can see there's a big white mark line there. That's where I've trimmed all that fur off. So I want to blend that in and create like a little bit of a torty striped look. So I'm going to go in and just frame the face with this auburn colour and my airbrush. Then I'm going to go in with the same colour, but I'm going to get really close and create some striping with this same colour, but I will go back in with a darker colour and create some more striping. So this is the torty sort of look that I'm going for. And I'm also just going to do a couple of little toe beans as well, just enhance those features. Okay, now I'm going to go in with that darker brown and add a little bit more coloration to the rest of the head to blend it into the rest of the body. Not too much, just a quick little blow over and add some striping as well. Now the final part of the blending is to add the little black highlights on top of the edge of the fur. So for this one, I'm going to go in with my brush with some black paint and just run my brush over the edge of the fur, and that picks up the edge and it blends in really nicely to the rest of the coat. You can see how it's starting to blend in and it's working really well for this particular technique. I'm not going to put too much on my brush, it's just a really, really thin coat. So for all of these little medieval cats, I'm going to have a prop with them. So Sir Claude has this velvet cushion, only the best for Sir Claude. So it's a nice, really nice red velvet cushion that it's really easy, just sew a square together and put some stuffing inside of it. Just poke the corners out, so I'm using the polyfill to stuff it, just really minimally, so nothing too stuffy. And then I also got some covered push buttons that you cover the buttons with your own fabric. So I created one of them and just sewed that on as well. And it creates like a little, I don't even know, a pleat, I guess you want to call it. So I wanted a little pin cushion in the middle. And I then added some really nice gold tassels on two ends of it. I basically covered the seam line with these tassels as well, so it's nice and neat. So that's about it. So Sir Claude is part of my my medieval cat series, but I'll let you guys know if he is up. Alternatively, the other two are available. Madame Tiptoes and Duke of Whiskers are also available in my shop. Payment plans are welcome, so just send me a message and I can tell you how they work. I'm pretty flexible with everything, but all my shop link and stuff is in my bio, creaturesinhat.com. Thank you so much for watching. I had really fun making all these little medieval cat dolls. I haven't laughed as much making a doll as I had these ones. So stay tuned for the next 2 videos as well on how I made the other 2. I plan on doing a few more stop motions with them as well, so keep an eye out for that as well. So thank you so much for joining me in this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff helps my channel grow. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.